All right, guys. I told you he was coming. The fucking size them arms. Woo!
Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. As you guys see in the beginning, Michal Krizo actually went out to the Dragon's Lair gym, and as you can see here, him with Milo Sarchev. Flex Wheeler actually had very high praise for this guy, and he's pretty much making his rounds. You know, we've seen this guy with pretty much a different person almost every single day. Now, I did say in my last video he will probably try to turn pro soon and do the Prague Pro, but I seen over on another news channel that he doesn't plan on doing the Prague Pro. So I'm not going to really update you guys on what Krizo is doing because it is becoming a bit confusing. Now, as we all know, he did go out to Bell's gym, and we can see that he posed for Steve Weinberger. And it's honestly great that Krizo came over to the NPC. You know, he's pretty much the topic of conversation right now. Everyone's wondering how he's going to do, when he's going to compete, when he's going to be on the Olympia stage, and how will he stack up. Another picture of Michal Krizo with Dennis Wolf. And Nick Strength and Power was saying Michal Krizo is very big because he's next to Dennis Wolf. Interesting, but this was at the Dragon's Lair gym. He looks incredible. The only thing I could really say is he could work on controlling his midsection, but I'm not sure how far he's out from a show. You know, he could potentially be in off-season condition. You know, who knows? But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Michal Krizo. How do you guys think he's going to do in our league? This guy has some crazy arms, and pretty much every day is something new about Michal Krizo. So I will keep you guys updated, and I'm actually excited about this guy, man. You know, we have a new face. I want to see how he's going to stack up. And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Nick Walker. And I'm not sure why Nick always takes his pictures at this angle on the right, because as we can see on the left, his quads do look a lot bigger. Bad angle for Nick. But just being completely honest, Nick's midsection does look a little wider than usual. That's not saying he's blowing out his midsection. He's going to be Palumbo at the Mr. Olympia, but a little wider than usual. And also, every time Nick is at this angle, his upper body seems to overpower his lower body. But once again, guys, could just be the angle. Nick Walker plans on winning this year's Mr. Olympia. I don't think he's 100% set it in stone like he said it for the Arnold, but Nick is definitely focused on winning that Olympia in the next couple of years. Now, ahead of today's Chicago Pro, these are the latest updates from Antoine Vaillant. On the left at about 2 days out, and on the right at 1 day out. And I do apologize for coming out with some of these updates a little later than usual. Yesterday I was focused on day 1 of the Chicago Pro. But Antoine looks incredible, and I'm pretty sure everyone has him winning this show. Last week came into Vancouver, pretty much shocked everybody. I had no idea he was going to look that good, and I'm excited to see Antoine hop on this stage today. Now, also ahead of the Chicago Pro, Tonio Burton posted this up. This guy in his front leg spread is incredible. Keep in mind, Tonio still hasn't made a full transition to open. You know, he's probably only around 225, I think. When this guy adds on some more size, this is going to be a crazy front leg spread. He's probably one of the most genetically gifted guys we have competing in this competition today. And I'm excited for the future of this guy. He placed 5th in Orlando, you know, 3rd in Cali. And in my prediction video, I had him in 2nd. So it's very possible we see a 2-man call-out of Tonio Burton and Antoine Vaillant. Now, this is the latest from Andrea Muzi ahead of today's Chicago Pro at 1 day out. Muzi definitely seems to be bringing the conditioning. And as you guys know, he was a bit off at Portugal against Presti. But this is about his 3rd show of the season, you know. Maybe Muzi has the formula right. Another guy that still needs a little bit more size, but in a lineup like this, who knows? Now, Tonio did beat Muzi back in Cali, but anything can happen. Now, this is Tim Budesheim ahead of today's Chicago Pro. Tim, very big guy, but of course he needs to bring up the back. I'm excited to see how these guys are going to stack up. You know, some of these guys haven't competed against each other. I've only seen Tim compete in Portugal, you know, all the shows over in the UK, over in that area. So I'm excited to see him compete against some guys over here. Now, the next update of the day, Steve Kuclo has officially confirmed he will be doing the Texas Pro. Steve is one of my favorite guys because he's big. He's one of the biggest guys on every single bodybuilding stage, and he comes in crazy conditioning. And as we know, size and conditioning prevails in bodybuilding. There are a lot of shapely bodybuilders that were out-muscled and out-conditioned because at the end of the day, this is a bodybuilding show, not a classic physique show. Now, Steve Kuclo was told to come in a lot more conditioned. When he came in more conditioned, he lost a bit of fullness. Now people want to see him more full. So Steve just needs to find that perfect balance of fullness and hardness, and he's going to be great. Also, Steve probably should have hopped in a show a bit earlier in this year. He would have already been qualified for the Olympia. And in the next update of the day, these are the latest updates of Quinton Eriya ahead of Tampa and Texas. And Tampa and Texas are starting to become some of the most competitive shows in bodybuilding. And it's only because all of these guys wait until the end of the year to compete when they could have been had a qualification, man. The shows earlier in the year were a bit weak, and this just in all honesty taking nothing away from the athletes. Now these guys are going to have a dog fight in Tampa and Texas and every show after that. But Quinton looks incredible. The deeper he gets into prep, the better he looks, man. And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from James Hollingshead, who honestly looks a bit homeless. I have to pick on James a bit, man, after the things that he said last year. Nothing personal, James. You should have placed second at the Arnold Classic instead of Ian Valier. But James looks incredible, man, ahead of this Arnold Classic UK. Actually looks like he's on track to come in pretty good. Arnold UK is also going to be a dogfight. Hassan, Marn Fitzwater, Mark Hector, Andrew Jack, Lionel Bayeki if he's able to nail it, but who knows. And in the next update of the day, the latest from Charles Griffen. Charles signed to Raw and Revive. If you guys didn't see the promotional video for him joining, you should definitely go to Instagram and check it out. Incredible video. Charles, one of the most 3D and dense bodybuilders we have today. As I mentioned, he almost reminds me of a taller Bonek, but not quite as round and bubbly as a William Bonek. Going into this year's Mr. Olympia, Charles is one of the best pro winners we've had this season so far. Now, the next update of the day, this is the latest from Ricky Moten ahead of the Tampa Pro. He will be competing in the 212 division. This guy has an incredible shape. I honestly thought he was classic before he said he was going to compete in 212. I would like to share more images of this guy, but he honestly posts one of the most muscular weak guys. That's it. But I'm excited to see him in Tampa. And the next update of the day, this was posted up recently by Terrence Ruffin and Rough Diesel. He said he's going to try to put on a little bit more size before starting his Olympia prep. And if you guys didn't know, going into the Arnold Classic 2022, Terrence was down about 7 to 10 pounds because he had the virus at about 6 weeks out. Still was able to win that contest, came in very, very conditioned. Now, if we go to last year's Arnold Classic, as I'm sure you guys will see, Terrence was a lot bigger than what he brought to that stage. So at this year's Mr. Olympia, it's going to be very hard to beat a guy like Terrence Ruffin. The only way I see guys like Ramon or Urs potentially beating Terrence is if the division just decides to go on a taller route. But Terrence has everything he needs for his size and his structure. Could bring the arms up a bit, could bring the back up a bit. But with him being an incredible poser, still going to be hard to beat. Now, the next update of the day, this is about 2 days ago of Gabriel Zancanelli. He will be competing in the Tijuana Pro today, looking to get their qualification for the Olympia. Once again, he took a 3rd place at the Expo Pro Super Show. That was the show where Horse MD had the controversy about the weight. But this guy is one of my favorites in the Classic Physique division. Honestly, all of the Brazilian athletes coming up are all incredible. We have some incredible talent coming out of there. Actually have some guys that haven't even turned pro yet. I may be mentioning in a few videos, but hopefully Zancanelli is able to get his qualification today. And in the next update of the day, this was Jeremy Potvin at 1 day out from the Chicago Pro. As you guys know, he did take a 2nd place placing, but this guy has an incredible physique. Now, some of you guys were wondering why he didn't switch to Classic. He actually said he hasn't put enough size on his legs, and he's just a guy that loves competing. So instead of taking another year off for Classic, he wanted to go ahead and just hop on that stage, man. But I'm pretty sure he could qualify for this year's Mr. Olympia if he keeps competing. But once again, I'm not sure if he wants to stay in men's physique, if he's going to go to Classic, if he just wanted to hop in one show or not. But if you guys are interested in more men's physique news, or at least just a couple of the guys, the top guys, let me know in the comment section below. I'm not too deeply invested into men's physique, but I do like the top 5 or 6 guys. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.